Hey there gang, so I'm playing PanzerGruppe Guderian and trying to work my way through the first couple of turns as we do the side-by-side comparison of this game with a victory denied. Slightly different scales, and I've already posted some stuff on this, but I wanted to share some early and interesting observations in regards to how zones of control work in this game. Once you move into a zone of control in PGG, you are no longer able to move, i.e. you can't exit an enemy zoc unless it's a result of combat. So on the left there you can see that 310 units, I think it's from the 14th Division mech, or I think it's Panzer actually. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I moved that unit there so I would lock up the units around, I think it's Guderian, isn't it? Yeah, Guderian. So they couldn't reaction move as I kind of penetrated the gap across the Divina River there and then pushed forward to down here. Well, that all worked out just fine and dandy, and then in fact I was able to, where those two red crosses are, that's where previous units were that are now at the Divina River. I put them out of supply because there's no headquarters within range, and the headquarters rating, so that guy over there's got a 4 on his die, on his unit. That gives you 4 hex range to reach the units and then place them in combat and movement, supply, etc., etc. And then that headquarters has to be able to reach back in any way, shape or form, or any distance back to the eastern edge of the map, so pretty straightforward stuff. Then, so I popped those guys, Russians, out of supply up north of the map, and then of course they return the favor. Even though they're OOS, they can still move, half movement and half combat factors, and they blocked, I've now probably blocked all of these guys. So maybe a quick reset, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. There are some other avenues to the west to receive supply from most of these units. Down here we've got 2 Soviet divisions that are also OOS in the middle there. Now, so what happens then is I can, as a German player, I can use these zones of control to slow you down and lock you up, and possibly forcing you to make a disadvantageous attack. But the flip side of that is I can just, as a Soviet player, I can just throw units at you, sit next to you and make you attack me with whatever you happen to have handy. And if you don't have reinforcements to enhance that attack, you might be making an attack on the 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 table, which really would suck, and I'll show you why. This is kind of bright. Let me just move that. As you can see, the D1A1s are in the middle of the die roll table, but the CRT is pretty brutal and for the attacker, and you really can't afford to take losses as the Germans in this. You have this concept of divisional integrity, which doubles your combat value. So if you lose one of the subunits of your division, you lose your ability to have divisional integrity, which is a big deal. So it's kind of a lock yourself up with zones of control game at the moment. I'm going to play a couple more turns, but right now it's starting to feel more like a puzzle playing than a war game. I'm not saying it's not a war game, just saying that it's certainly not as fluid or as dynamic as I was hoping it would be. All right, we'll get back to it and we'll see what happens.